Hi, welcome back for another lesson. Today's lesson is going to be a piano lesson, and we're going to be looking at the key of C. Now, this is not an in-depth lesson on how to play it with sheet music with your right and left hand and going over scales, but we're just going to look at how a major key is composed, what it consists of, and how to derive chords from it. And hopefully this will give you a better understanding of music theory, and you can apply it to your own instruments such as guitar, and definitely use it when you sit down at a piano so you have some idea how keys are constructed. So let's flip this around and we'll get into it. All right, so I'm going to be looking at the key of C right here, starting on middle C. So the key of C consists only of white keys. So all the white keys are part of the key of C. And a major key starts on the tonic note, which is the name of the key. So this is a C note, right? And then we'll go up again, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8th one where it repeats is another C. So we're just going to be looking at this octave right here, middle C or C4 to C5. All right, now all major keys are composed of whole and half steps. And the way it goes is whole, whole, and then a half step. And when I'm talking about whole and half steps, a whole step is from this key to this key. It's 2 half steps. So there's a half step, and then there's a half step. So 2 half steps equal 1 whole step. So we have a whole step, a whole step. This is a half step because there's no black key in between. You see that? So whole, whole, half, whole, 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 and then finally half. Another half step because no black key. So whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And then if we took that and raised it up, let's say a whole step. So now we're starting on D. The key of D can be easily derived using that little pattern. So if we have whole, whole, that's how we get sharps and flats. So whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And that's how sharps and flats are introduced. In this one we have F sharp, and then we have a C sharp. If we go to E, same thing. And so on. So let's bring it back down to C. So our scale is just going to contain 7 notes, 8 notes total. So 7 from C to B, and then we repeat C for the octave. Okay, and then you can make chords out of this, and we're just going to be going over root position chords. So that means when we say C chord, C is going to be in the bass, or our first note, going from left to right. So we have C, and a chord is composed of a root, a third, and then a fifth. And then we can count those. So we have our root, we count them 3 starting on our note. So we go 1, 2, 3. So now we have C, E, and then a fifth. So you count up 5 from C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So root, up 3 for our third, and up 5 for our fifth. Root, third, fifth. And that is a C major chord. Now we can make this minor by dropping the third a half step. We can see that sounds minor or sad. Okay, and we can also use our little technique that we use to create or come up with the C major using the whole and half steps. So it's going to be a major third, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 half steps counting. So 1 half step between these two, 2 half steps, 3 half steps, and then 4 half steps to go to our major third. And then we're going to need 1 half step, 2 half steps, 3 half steps to get our minor third. So a major chord is composed of a major third and then a minor third. Right? And then when we bring it down to a minor, that's going to be composed of a minor third. So 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we kind of just reverse that. And now we can use this for each individual chord. So we can make a chord out of each note. So easily, right, we have a C, C major, then we go up. That's a D minor. To make it a major, we would raise our third. Then we have an E minor. We have an F major, G major, A minor. This one's new. This is a B diminished. The 7th tone in a scale, and then we build a chord off of that using just the keys in the scale is always going to make it diminished, right? So let's figure out what that means. We're going to count our half steps. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's 2 minor thirds what make a diminished triad. And then that'll go up to a C major and just restart the scale. So we have a major, a D minor, an E minor, an F major, a G major, A minor, a B diminished, and then a C. And that's how you build chords out of a scale. And that's where your chord progressions come from. So you can have a 1, 4, 5, which is typically the most common in pop music, right? And in other forms of music too, classical, jazz, and whatnot. So we have a 1, 4, 5, we're talking about just the root notes. So the 1 would be C. The 4, we count up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be F. And then the 5 would be one more as G. And these notes work really well together, right? So we have a C, an F, a G, and then we could just go back down to C. Right? Another real common one is going from C to A minor to F to G back to C. So that'd be the 1, the minor 6th, right? I'm just going down here instead of going up. The 4, the 5, and then the 1. You hear that a lot in 50s ballads, some newer pop songs, but it gives like a real sweet sound. Right, you sometimes hear it in triplets. Okay, so again, those are just examples of chord progressions and how we pick out chord progressions from a key. And this was just going over the key of C major on the piano. Again, going how it's consisted of whole steps and half steps, and then how you can pick chords out of a key and how to build those chords. It's always root, third, fifth, right? You can get a little more advanced and do inversions. That means you have the same notes, just in a different order. All right, there's an inversion. But we really didn't go over that. I can go over that in another lesson. This lesson was just to familiarize you with the key of C and how a major key works on the piano. Okay, let's flip this back around. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope that helped you out, and I will see you next time for a actual piano lesson, and we're going to be doing Falling by Harry Styles, and we'll go over that right and left hand, and that's going to be in the key of E major. Really pretty song. All right, see you next time. Thank you. Bye.